Hey there, and welcome to Module 3. In this module, we deal with 3 different problems with lots of journal entries. There's a little repetition on the slides, so feel free to use the forward and advance buttons to move to journal entries that you may have more difficulty with. Good luck. In the first assignment, we dive into the Village of Burkett and its Capital Projects Fund. We prepare 16 journal entries and 1 financial statement. In reading requirements A and B for 2000X3, we prepare journal entries, closing entries, reversing entries, and the balance sheet. For those of you thinking about sitting for the CPA exam, this is a really good type of problem, a good example problem. One strategy you really need to develop is reading the problem requirements and developing your own plan for each problem and how you're going to complete it based upon the requirements. In problem 7.2a, the Village of Burkett and its Capital Projects Fund, we do 6 regular year journal entries and 3 closing entries. Journal entry number 1 is to record the authorization of the library construction project. You were given information about the bond issue for construction of the library and the proceeds and related appropriation in the Capital Projects Fund. This is a 2-line journal entry. Journal entry number 2 is to record the sale of a bond at premium. The bonds were sold at a premium of $90,000. This is a 3-line journal entry. Journal entry number 3 is to record the payment of the bond issue costs for the cost of issuing the bonds when the $80,000 was paid. This is a 2-line journal entry. Journal entry 4 is to record encumbrances for material on order. The order was placed for materials estimated to cost $6,500,000. This is a 2-line journal entry. Journal entry number 5 is to record the payment of salaries and wages that were paid for $500,000. This is a 2-line journal entry. Journal entry number 6 is to record the transfer of bond premium net of issue costs to the debt service fund. This is a 2-line entry. Closing entry number 1 is to close the bond issue accounts at year end. This is a 4-line closing entry. Likewise, closing entry number 2 is to close the expenditure and operating transfer accounts at year end. This is a 4-line closing entry. The final entry for 2000X3, the closing entry number 3, is to close encumbrances at year end. Note that this is a 2-line entry. We move on now to the second year. In the second year, we do 1 reversal entry, entries 7 through 10 for the regular entries, and closing entries 1 through 2. Then we prepare the balance sheet. The first entry we do is to reverse the entry we made, the closing entry for encumbrances. We actually reverse that in a 2-line journal entry. Okay, journal entry number 7 for 2000X4 is to record materials that were received at an actual cost of $6,585,000. There is an error on this slide. This should be a 4-line entry, not 2. And this entry is to reverse the setup of encumbrances and to record expenditures. Journal entry number 8 is a 2-line entry to record the payment of salaries and wages at $4,010,000. Thanks for hanging in there. We're almost done. Entry number 9 in 2000X4 is to record the payment of all other outstanding bills. Entry number 10 is to record the transfer of the money to the debt service fund. This is a 2-line entry. This first closing entry is a 3-line entry, and this is the entry to close the expenditures. The second and final entry for 2000X4 is to close and transfer the account and terminate the capital projects. This slide may be a little bit out of order, but requirement B, I think it was to prepare the fund balance sheet for the Capital Projects Fund at 2000X3, and here it is.